Well, hello and thank you for joining us. Today I will present a brief overview of the Illinois Arts Council Agency and describe a few of our programs that are currently active. Now let's get started. In 1965, the Illinois General Assembly created the IACA for the purpose of encouraging development of the arts throughout Illinois. This state agency assists artists, arts organizations, and other community organizations that present arts programming by providing financial and technical assistance. Funds are provided annually to the agency by the Illinois State Legislature and the National Endowment for the Arts. The IAC is governed by a board of directors comprised of up to 21 private citizens from throughout Illinois. These citizens are appointed by the governor and serve in a voluntary capacity for 4-year terms. The IAC mission is to build a strong, creative, and connected Illinois through the arts. In this presentation, we will be discussing 3 of our active programs: Artstour.Live music, the Individual Artist Support Grant, and the Program Grants. Now, are any of you with a not-for-profit organization, part of a not-for-profit organization? 1? Okay. 2? Oh, what organization, may I ask? What organization, may I ask? They're both bands. They're both bands?
No. I'm on the Arts Council in my hometown out in Bartlett, Illinois.
Oh, wonderful. Okay,
nice.
Great. That's good to know. Okay, first up is the Artstour.Live music. This program is the opportunity for organizations to acquire support to hire outside artists. The application must come from the organization. In other words, you cannot write the application to hire yourself or to present or to perform. If you are an individual interested in this program, you would need to contact the organization with which you would like to work and make them understand that they would need to apply. So they would be the applicant, you would be the artist. So they would apply to hire you. Okay. Artstour.Live music provides support to eligible Illinois not-for-profit organizations seeking to present performances of an Illinois performing artist, company, or group, and also collaborations between the applicant organization and an Illinois performing artist, company or group which will result in a live performance. Example of a possible project could be a library hiring a folk musician to do a performance, an opera company collaborating with a jazz ensemble, or a dance ensemble bringing in a string quartet. Now can we go back to the examples?
Oh, well, they're not.
Okay. Well, I'd like to explain to you, with the Artstour.Live music, it's sort of like 2 areas. The Arts Tour is like if a school wants to bring you in, or a library wants to bring you in and present you out to the public or to the school. With live music, it's basically a collaboration where like a music organization is collaborating with maybe a violinist for production. So that's live music, and that's collaboration because you have 2 arts organizations sharing the same platform. So that's what the collaboration would be. The Arts Tour would be if the presenter just brings you and presents you out. That presenter is not collaborating with you, so a lot of people sometimes get that confused. So you understand that? Wonderful. Okay. Artstour.Live music, especially for activities occurring between January 15th and ending by December 31st. So that means the latest that we can receive an application is June, but your activity can go until December 31st. So I'm saying the organization wants to present you, the latest that we can receive that application is June. Request amounts are calculated based on information entered in the project budget and the application, and will range from 50 to 75% of a contracted artist's fee. So for example, say if your fee is $10,000, and just how you know. And you can start at 50%, right? All right. But say you can get another 5%, the presenter can get another 5% if it's the first time they used you, and another 5% if you're collaborating. So that's 60%. So of that $10,000, the IAC will pay $6,000, and the presenter has to come up with a 4, of which all goes to you. Understand that? Great.
Excuse me, did you do the collaboration again?
Okay, collaboration is usually 2 organizations working together sharing the same platform. Like a theater company may have a production, and you need a violinist for that production. That's the collaboration. Okay? So 2 organizations sharing the same platform. Good example, we have, I'll tell you this one. Springfield Ballet is celebrating their 40th anniversary. And for the last, since '06, all they could do is use pre-recorded music for the Nutcracker. This year, they are collaborating with the Illinois Symphony Orchestra to do the Nutcracker for their 40th anniversary. That is a collaboration. That is live music. Right? Okay. We already went through by the part of, here we go, the increase.
Yeah.
Okay. All applicants are eligible to request 50%, and you can see how it's done. If it's the first time the applicant has worked with the artist or group, it's 5%. This is all in the guidelines. If the artist, company, or group home base is at least 100 miles away from the presenting venue, that's another 5%. If the artist, company, or group is contracted between 5 and 10 hours of residency, that's another 5%. That means sometimes a presenter, a school will hire you to come in and not just perform, but they want you to do workshops as well, or residencies. So then you can stay another 10 hours and do those residencies. Right. We can pass the increase in those things. That's all in the guidelines. Booking, release another Illinois presenter while the artist is on tour. Okay, the people who hire you must be tax exempt, 501c3 organizations, registered as a not-for-profit corporation in good standing with the Illinois Secretary of State or units of government, school districts, park districts, libraries, institutions of higher education, and applicants all must have a DUNS number. Also, churches sometimes present. They can bring an artist in, as long as it's not doing church services. Okay? Be advised that funds cannot be used for performances by artists, companies, or groups affiliated with the applicant organization. For example, if a park district has a residence theater company, the park district could not request funding to present them because they're part of that group anyway. Okay? If a musician is an employee or contractual worker for a community center, regardless of their duties, they cannot be engaged by the center through Artstour.Live music. All right. The Artstour eligible applicants may submit requests for multiple projects, meaning an organization can hire you and want to hire someone else, but they have to put first priority, and that's when we look at first to determine who can fund it. The Artstour.Live Music Grant is an open deadline program. Applications will be accepted through June 1st, 2014, and must be submitted at least 10 weeks before activities are scheduled to begin. Now, in some cases, we are a little flexible. If it's 9 weeks, or 8 weeks, we won't throw you out, okay? But at least 10 weeks. Okay? Next is the individual artist support grant. Now, this is different from Artstour. I'm just going to basically talk about this, and this is for you to apply as an individual. No one else, you, right? The first one, and it was created to help Illinois artists realize a career goal by taking advantage of a professional opportunity or by the production and presentation of an artistic project. It contains 2 different tracks. The first one is professional development, okay? And the second one is artist project. An applicant only can apply in one track and will only be allowed to submit one application per fiscal year. Now let's talk about the professional development track. It focuses on the development of skills, tools, and resources to support an individual artist's career. Now, what can you apply for as an individual artist? Workshops, conferences, production of a demo reel, demonstration of artwork, most important, marketing and website development. You may need that. With the artistic project track, we're looking for completion of a project, culminating in a public release, presentation, performance, or exhibition. Examples would be music or audio studio recordings, marketing and distribution of manuscripts, exhibition catalogs, post-production, and screenings of film or video, for live performances. And let me get some water. Much better, thank you. Okay, artists applying for professional development grant can apply for a total amount of expenses. The grant amount requested can be between $500 and $1,000. Okay. Artists applying for the Artist Project Grant may request a maximum of 75% of the total cost of the project, up to $3,000, with a minimum request being $500. Applicants must secure a cash match to cover the remaining costs of the project from sources other than the state of Illinois. So this is a wonderful program that you can apply for, and you don't need a presenter or anything like that. To be eligible, an applicant must be at least 18 years old, be citizens of the United States, and be a legal resident of the state of Illinois for 12 months prior to the application submission and throughout the grant period. If you have any questions regarding the eligibility requirements or think you might be ineligible but aren't sure, just contact the IAC instead for clarification. Individuals enrolled in any school, any degree or certificate granting program, including high school, bachelor's, or master degree programs at the time of application or during the award period are ineligible to apply. Unless you're working on your PhD and all your coursework is completed and you're just working, you were doing a thesis, then you could apply. Okay. Applicants must only submit one request per fiscal year, and multiple applications will not be accepted. Like the Artstour and live music, the individual artist support grant is an open deadline program. Applications will be accepted through June 1st, 2014, and must be submitted again at least 10 weeks before the activity begins. Notification will be sent approximately 6 weeks after IAC receipt of the application and is funded. This notification will include a grant agreement and other required materials, which must be completed and returned to authorized payment. Once these documents are returned to the IACA, it will take about 2 months and sometimes up to 6 months to receive payment for payments to be issued by the state controller. So we have applicants who applied last year for funding and they're still waiting for money. So it does take a while, up to 6 months. Most of the presenters who would hire you, they would be aware of that, and they would expect your patients as well to be paid, hopefully. So that works that way. Lastly, we have the IAC program grants, which is our largest granting program. Now, there was 1 or 2 people who are part of a not-for-profit organization. So I will go over this briefly. The program grant provides general operating support to established organizations that make a significant local, regional, or statewide impact on the quality of life in Illinois through our arts programming. Fiscal year 25-15 program grant funds support activities. So this grant supports activities starting September of this year and ending August 31st of next year. The grants amounts are between $500 to $13,000. Normally, someone who gets $13,000 has a budget of $200,000 or more, so it's not always everyone gets $13,000. A lot of our organizations, a lot of those little small companies have budgets of like $6,000, $8,000, and they would be the ones that awarded grants, which probably end up with $500 to $1,250 in that range. Okay. Grants amounts will be based on the following factors: the IAC FY15 budget allocation, the organization's last completed fiscal year's budget, and the review score given to the application. What is a review score? For those people who have budgets, organizations with budgets of $50,000 and above, they go before a panel. So say if you're a theater company, say you're a music company, a symphony, and you submit your application, you have a budget of $60,000, it goes before a panel of experts who are in the fields, such as music composers who may be involved with various companies, artistic directors. We have people who, and they serve on a panel, and your application is reviewed, and depending upon the ranking you would receive determines or not whether you would be funded. This is for not-for-profit people, organizations who want to apply for a program grant. Applicants must be top exempt, I told you that, registered as a not-for-profit in good standing with the Secretary of State or units of government, that is school districts, park districts, or library districts, or institutions of higher learning. They almost have the applicants, which is the organization, must also have a FEIN number, a DUNS number, the active service to the public for at least a year prior to the date. All right. And let me get here. Of application and participate in the Illinois Cultural Data Project and must submit financial data for the last 3 completed fiscal years. So for organizations who apply to us, we need to see financial data for years 10, 11, and 12, or 11, 12, 13. Of course, if you're brand new not-for-profit organization, you only have like a year under you, you can only show us what your most current completed year is. So we would expect you to give us 3 years if you're not 3 years or older. This is only for people who are part of not-for-profit organizations for program grants. Has nothing to do with IAS that I just got them talking about, but it has nothing to do with Artstour.Live music. Applicants may only submit one request per fiscal year, and multiple applications will not be accepted. Now, for program grants, March 17, 2014 is the deadline for the online submission of the e-grant application and hand delivery of any required hard copies. And hard copy materials submitted through the mail must have a postmark date of March 17, 2014. Hard copies are like a symphony has to submit to me a CD, because we play it for the panel. So that's what we mean by hard copies. Okay, not all programs have hard copies that one has to submit. This is for our programs that we currently active. For additional information, visit our website at www.arts.illinois.gov. You can also sign up on our mailing list and contact us. And Josh will show you where that is. Okay. Section of the website. Coming up in the new year, we will have a few more programs which may interest you, including cash awards for individual artists, an application to join our artist roster, which is most important, and that's going to come up soon because a lot of our artists now that we're using, they're part of a roster, but the roster is 100 years old, but we still let that active for right now until we get updated, and we'd love to have some new artists on a roster, so we'll let you know, and the Federation knows when it's time to update that roster. And any contact information is provided for you there. I direct the Partners of Excellence. For the individual artist support grant that I told you about, Encarnacion, the second person who does media arts and visual arts, he would be your contact person, but it does not mean you cannot call me or Josh. So we all are here to help you. I hope that answered all your questions, and I'm here for any questions that you may have, and thank you.